Hey y'all, I am back. I know it's been a super long time, but as you know, I live in Florida. We recently had a hurricane warning. Well, it was a potential hurricane coming toward us. I think it was a category 5. Yeah, it was a category 5. So I wasn't able to record. That was the week that I actually wanted to record. But instead of the hurricane hitting Florida, we just got a few, we basically just got a little rain, some wind. Um, I know half my family live off the coast, and they told me that they just got a lot of rain. Other than that, everything was okay. But I know that was it. I think it's called Hurricane Dorian. Yeah, it was Hurricane Dorian. I know that it hit the Bahamas, and I know that it was really horrible. The pictures are horrible. Everything is it's very upsetting to see stuff like that. But my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in the Bahamas. But I wanted to come on today to talk to you guys about a fairy encounter that I had. And before I started my video, I did spray some Florida water. They have an air freshener, which is my favorite. I love it. So instead of just, splashing the actual Florida water all over the walls like I do before I do my videos, I decided to buy the air freshener. So that was a little bit better. So, okay, with the fairy encounter that I had, this was last year when I was picking my daughter up from school. And I'm going to light some Palo Santo too. I just like the way it smells. And I'm outside on my porch doing my videos, so just so y'all know, it is hot out here. It was raining. It was raining, and I was trying to do the video while it was raining, and it's so hard to catch rain. It's like trying to catch the rain on one of my videos. It's like trying to catch a newborn baby smiling when you're trying to take a picture. So anyway, I had this, me and my daughter actually had this fairy encounter. So I went to pick up my daughter from school, and normally we check the mailbox. And I was on my way to check the mailbox, and I ran into this little boy who was. It was him. It was three of them actually. The first time we saw it, it was three little boys. There was, I think they looked like they might have been 8 or maybe 9. The other one was, he was a dwarf. And they're walking this dog. I think it was the dog was maybe Scottish, like not the bulldog, but it was another one. I think y'all know what I'm talking. I'm gonna put a picture so y'all know which dog I'm talking about. I'll find a picture of the dog. But they were walking this dog, and there's a tree. When you where I live in my complex, when you walk down the side, well, I want to say in my complex. Well, in my complex, the direction I walk in going to the mailbox, it's kind of like a crossways. It's kind of like a four-way intersection, kind of like. And at the end of the intersection, there's like the sidewalk intersection. There's a big, huge tree. So when me and my daughter were walking down the sidewalk, that's where we met the 3 little boys. One had the dog on the leash, and then he was walking him, and the dwarf was actually tying his shoe. They all had on like these little hoodies, and their skin was just so pale. I mean, pale, 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 pale. I'm talking about maybe, I want to say, what's the name of that movie? Like Vampire Pale. What's the name of that movie? Twilight. It was kind of like that. They were pale like in like Edward in Twilight. So, as me and my daughter got closer, I noticed, their different features and everything. And one of them, he was, just walking the dog. He didn't say anything, but I noticed that when the dwarf ran up after he was trying to tie his shoe, he looked like he was trying to tie, but he couldn't do it. So when he ran up with the other two, they started talking. Sorry, not talking, but talking, and it was a strange language that I had like never heard before. I went to school in high school. When I went to high school in Georgia, so my high school was very diverse, very, very diverse. So there's a lot of different languages that I would hear. I went to school with over 80 different countries that spoke over 200 different languages. Um, Even one of the guys that I had dated in high school, he was from Ethiopia, or Somalia, and he spoke like 8 different languages. So I was used to hearing, the different dialogues. So I mean, I can recognize when someone's, speaking a different language. But this language was something that I had never heard before, and I mean, they were speaking really low, but I could still hear them, and it was kind of like, I want to say like a whisper. But anyways, as I got closer, I could see, I saw their, features a little bit more. Their eyes were like a crystal blue. It was, their eyes were so pretty, so pretty. Um, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was saying, oh, there's somebody, kids walking their dog or whatever. And then, me and my daughter, went to the mailbox, and then, we left. So then I didn't see them for like a week or two. A week or two went by, and I didn't see them. So then I would say after those 2 weeks, like, I ran into them. So I was kind of a little excited to see them, and we always met at this tree at the same time at this tree. And mind you, I've seen most of the kids in my complex, in my neighborhood, because my daughter's school, a lot of kids that are walkers, you see them, you communicate with their parents, but these kids I had never seen before. I think there's about 5 or 6 schools in my area. So I've never seen them at the bus stop as well, because there's a bus stop also. My daughter's friends would, one of the neighbor kids that lives in our building, and he goes to the bus stop, and his mom picks him up. Or she drops him off and picks him up. I've never seen these kids at the bus stop at all. I thought they probably could be homeschooled, but when I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I've never seen these kids since I've been living in this complex, and I've been living here for about 3 years now, and my kids been going to the same school for 3 years. So I thought that was kind of strange. But anyway, when I saw them after those 2 weeks, and it wasn't the 3, it was just the 1. Oh, and the dwarf, he kind of gave me like, he saw me look, and he gave me like a really dirty look. I was like, oh, okay, wow. But after I saw them again after the 2 weeks, and when I saw them, I was really kind of excited to see them. I have no idea why, but we met at the same tree, and there was also, it was just 2, and they were walking the same dog, and this dog I wouldn't say that it was friendly, or it was friendly. It was just, a quiet dog. It didn't bark at anyone. Well, it didn't bark at me or my child. It didn't bark or anything like that. It was just there. Um, it didn't acknowledge that, anybody else was there or whatever. I mean, it might have looked every now and then, but that was basically it. But then when I saw them, we met at the tree and we were crossing each other, and I saw one of them look at me, and I said, "Hey guys," and they kind of looked at me and started to giggle and smile, and I thought it was the cutest thing, and it wasn't like a normal giggle. It was more of a, like, I want to say, like, not really a high pitched giggle. I really can't. I'm trying to describe it, but it's really hard to describe. But it was like, now it wasn't a cackle. It wasn't like an evil giggle or anything like that. It was kind of like a mischievous giggle, like, oh hi, but yeah, and they walked off, and I noticed that there was a guy that was kind of watching them, and when a guy watches a kid, it kind of weirded me out. So I kind of stood there for a while and watched, while I was at the mailbox to see, what the guy was gonna say or whatever, but he was talking to them and they didn't even respond. It was insane. They didn't say a word. They just looked at him, and they didn't make any hand gestures, eye movements. They didn't make any of that. They just looked at him. They didn't say like one word to this man. And he was asking them about the dog or whatever, and I thought that was a little strange too. And they stood there while he spoke, but they didn't respond. So I thought that was a little strange as well, because normally if a child is reproached by someone, they're gonna respond. They're gonna say yes, no, whatever, or I don't know you, you're a stranger, or something. But they didn't even speak to them. But they stood there while he spoke. And I guess he kind of was like, okay, well, they're not going to say anything, and he walked off. And then too, he saw me, watching them at the mailbox. So, they walked off and continued to walk their dog. And, of course, they had on the same hoodies. They had on those same hoodies. And I want to say, I normally walk my daughter around, I keep looking back because I'm trying to see if it's going to rain. Because there's a huge cloud. It looks like it's going to rain. I normally see them walking their dog about, I want to say, around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So yeah, around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So mainly everybody is out. Everybody's coming home from work, so it's kind of busy. Everybody's checking the mailbox, but that was actually the last day that I saw them. So I saw them twice. And I have not seen them since. And it's like every time I go to the mailbox around that time, I try to look for them to see if I can, see if we'll see each other. But I have not seen them since the last time I saw them, which was the last school year. And I found that really strange as well. It's just, they just appeared out of nowhere. I haven't seen, and that's it kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say, I don't know, it's just, it's kind of strange that I've only seen them twice, and I've lived in this neighborhood, in this complex, for at least 3 years. At least 3. And I guess maybe me hoping to see them, maybe that's another thing. I don't know. But the thing with fairies are, they're kind of, tricky or whatever. And it was a little strange that we met at the same tree, the same exact tree. But I don't know. You guys comment below and let me know what you guys think. Have you ever had any fairy encounters, good ones or bad ones? I had a bad fairy encounter, really, really bad. That was basically when I met the Baron, uh, and when I spoke to him, well, after meeting him in a spiritual shop that I went to, he gave me his card. Basically, that video, well, that's gonna be a video. The first time me meeting the Baron and having a cleansing done, that is gonna be a two-part video because that is a long story to tell. And also he told me he's gonna make an appearance on my channel, so that also I'll let him tell, what, his side, I guess, so the story can, blend together or whatever. I don't know, however you say it or however it goes. So he'll make an appearance on this channel. So when I do part 1, then you guys should know you should look for part 2, and the Baron will be on part 2. So anyways, guys, that was basically what I experienced when I met the 3 fairies. I still have not seen them since. I really want to see, I really want to see them. But anyways, guys, comment below and let me know what have you had any encounters with any fairies, good, bad, and there's different kinds of fairies, so you guys let me know. All right, don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.